Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and today we're having another look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but this time we're going to look at it on the Xbox Series S. If you haven't already seen our full gameplay review, check out the link down below, because this video is just to tell you how the game looks, feels and plays on the new Series S, the only next-gen console any of the team actually has right now. But we do have PS5s and Xbox Series X consoles on the way, so expect more coverage across all the new consoles very soon. So, what you're here to know is if Assassin's Creed Valhalla is better on the Series S. I originally played the game on the One X, and my colleague Jason played on the PS4 Pro, and I'm happy to report that playing on the Series S is a massive improvement. One of the biggest improvements that I noticed right away was what I predicted in my original review. The screen tearing. It's been fixed. On the last gen platforms, Valhalla suffers from severe screen tearing during cutscenes, and a fair amount during the run of usual play too. On the Series S, it is almost completely eliminated. I say almost because it's still there, but, and this is a massive but, I've only noticed it during the loading screens, and only when I move the camera in really close to Ivor's face in these loading screens. So, for all intents and purposes, it's gone. Cutscenes are no longer marred by this nasty extra feature, and after around 10 hours of play on the Series S, I've not noticed it happen during gameplay. It's a big improvement then, and it gives a much smoother presentation. Framerate wise, Valhalla sticks to 30 FPS on the Series S. The beefier Series X gets the 60 FPS treatment, while the Series S is locked to 30. It's a shame, but I've personally never had an issue with playing Assassin's Creed games at 30 FPS. In fact, for a good chunk of the series, if you played on console, you were playing at sub 30 FPS. The frame rate on the One X was good and mostly stuck to 30, but it did falter during larger battles when there was a lot going on in the scene. On the Series S, this still happens mind you, but it's far less frequent, and honestly, I must have only come across it half a dozen times in over 10 hours of play. Now, graphics and resolution. You won't find the most in-depth analysis here, we're not about that. We're going to tell you in simple terms, not tech gobbledygook like Digital Foundry. No offense to those guys, they do good work. The One X was gunning for 4K resolution and it looked great. The Series S version does not aim for 4K, yet I still found the image quality to be very similar, if not a little sharper, and I was using the same TV setup, a 65-inch 4K display. Now, this could be due to the One X version's dynamic resolution, meaning that the resolution is constantly shifting in line with the needs of the game. Lots of action, drop the resolution. If you're just climbing up to a high spot, the game ups the resolution. You get the picture. On Series S, it's much more consistent then, and it genuinely looks great. Graphically, it's a little harder to parse the two, but there are some differences if you look closely and pay attention. On the One X, I would often see really low quality, low poly geometry, especially when climbing through the mountains. Rocks would be really low detail, and they'd look like they were lumps of Play-Doh sculpted by my kid. On the Series S, I've seen no such thing. Texture quality is improved, not just on rocks mind you, but everywhere. Characters have more detail in their models and generally appear crisper, more defined, and when you pair that with the elimination of screen tearing, you end up getting some really impressive results, especially in the cutscenes. So to answer the question, is Valhalla better on Series S? Absolutely. It's not a night and day transformation, it's more morning and mid-afternoon. But I'm a terrible morning person, so this suits me down to the ground. And that's the end of this video. For the full review on the gameplay and more, do have a look at the original review with the link down in the info box below. Also be sure to check out our websites too, and you'll find those down in the box below along with our socials. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider liking and subscribing to our humble little channel. I've been Chris, you've been my best drengers, and I'll see you at the eternal feast in Valhalla. Until then, Skull! 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 Bloody hell, Chris, come on.